Hi everyone, and welcome back on the Adobe Live show. This is a week dedicated to UX design. This is the day 2. We'll be live for 3 days, and end of day 2, we welcome Danielle and Talin.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael.
Doing well today?
Yeah.
Doing
good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. That's.
I really enjoy that. Chatting with the community.
So fun.
Yeah, and you see nice prototypes. They also shared crazy good prototypes today, like.
Nice. That's fun to see.
We even did a quick survey in the chat. We'll do it again later, asking, okay, who is using Adobe XD for the first time? And
yeah,
there were a lot of people.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. We love hearing your feedback. So we're here. We wanna hear it. So
that's great. So maybe you want to introduce yourself again?
Yeah.
For the people who were not with us yesterday. So Danielle.
Yes, so I'm Danielle, and I work here at Adobe as an experienced designer with a team called the Design Lab team. Again, we just focus on projects that are 3 to 5 years out for Adobe, anything from hardware, software,
crazy VR experiences.
Yeah, I've been looking a lot at AR, VR stuff right now since that's kind of a hot topic. And yeah, so that's what I do here.
It's awesome. I love seeing their work. Yeah, so I'm Talin Wadsworth. I'm the lead designer for Adobe XD. So you have a direct line to the Adobe XD team with you right now. So that's fun. Yeah, and then one other thing I was going to say is that Danielle and I are also part of Adobe Design. So we're part of the bigger design team here at Adobe, and we work on all the products Adobe offers. So the Creative Cloud products. Marketing or Experience Cloud, I should say now.
Document Cloud.
Document Cloud. Yeah, so we was this tight-knit group of designers and engineers and researchers, and we're all sitting with each other. And we're all working on all these products, and yeah,
a lot of projects.
Yeah,
at Adobe always.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Okay, great. So yeah, we have some people joining in the chat. Let us know where you are from. I see Theodore saying that the other guys told us you don't have a French accent in real life. I guess that the other guys is Paul. Sounds like Paul.
Probably.
And it's true. It's true. When I'm offline, I don't have any accents actually.
What? His American accent is terrible though.
Yeah.
So don't let him.
Usually I'm talking like this, very Talin.
Very tightly.
Wow, it changes like pirate.
Yeah.
It's very pirate of you. Yeah.
Oh, Hassan from Egypt. Yeah, welcome to the chat. And can you add magic to Adobe XD? Yeah, every day. I mean, you will add magic to Adobe.
It's called Repeat Grid.
The Repeat Grid, yeah. And Runson from Ireland. Oh, nice. And Steve from Peru.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great. Okay, thanks for watching. Maybe we can explain what you did yesterday and what you will be doing today.
Yeah.
A quick recap of yesterday, because they can watch the replay now. The replay is available on the Creative Cloud YouTube channel already. So, yeah, let's do
that out. Yeah, so last year, Mike and I did this really cool experiment where we designed a feature, kind of a fun imagined feature for XD, during our stream. And so this year, I brought with me my very talented colleague to see what else we could tackle and make sort of dream up another feature for Adobe XD. And we actually created a prototype, which you can view online. I don't know if Michael used to have the link to that, but we called it Project Flare, and it was about sharing style guides.
Let me find that.
Through Behance with everybody across the world, and so they were able to basically share your style guide from XD, post it on your Behance project. People were able to subscribe to the style guide, and then it just pops up into XD. And then Danielle took it and she did this cool thing where you could just apply the style guide magically to your design and just see it change and compare it side by side. And so we put a prototype, we made it in real time in Adobe XD, and we published it online, and we put it out there for everybody to go and check out and provide their feedback and comments, and some user testing in real time. Really cool. So, what are we going to do today, Danielle, though?
Oh, yeah. What's the plan for today?
Yeah, I don't know. Today we're trying to think, okay, do we move forward with trying to do high fidelity of what we did yesterday with Project Flare, or do we kind of work on a new idea and see where we can take that, and then maybe go with that direction? I think that's sort of where we landed. I mean, right? Do you want to do a new idea and just sort of start over again and figure out what's an interesting thing to realize for XD?
I mean, there's so many ideas, and you know what's been really awesome about having Adobe XD out there in beta is that we've had a Uservoice forum. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Uservoice, but basically it's a forum where you can go, anyone can go, and suggest a new feature for XD.
Oh, yeah.
And then basically the community then gets to up or down vote it, basically. So the team, all the Adobe XD team is actually, we go there on a daily basis and we're looking at what everybody is sort of asking for, what they need to do their work, and we're actually having that guide our roadmap. So we actually use the feedback from and ideas from the designers there on the Uservoice forum to actually like figure out what we're going to work on next. And so Danielle and I, I have the Uservoice up on my machine.
Yeah, can show it in screen.
So it's adobexd.uservoice.com.
Yeah, they will put it in the chat. Yeah.
And oh, look at the crazy thing going on with the red Adobe
logo. Full red.
Awesome. Yes, the full red
crazy
bug. So this is actually the feature request page, and here again, anybody on the XD team, or actually anyone can go there. The XD team goes there and looks at what the community is suggesting, and looking for maybe new feature ideas, new things to add to XD.
Kevin is asking what's the difference between high fidelity and low fidelity.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, I think, so yesterday we were saying that we were working more in low fidelity, which was really just sort of basic wireframes that we weren't too concerned on like the full visual design quite yet, and we were just still, it was like pretty grayscale, it was just trying to get the general flow, versus high fidelity where we would be looking more at the specific details in the design, like really like maybe what colors we should be using or the treatment on everything, and just getting a little bit more nitpicky across.
Yeah, you know, sometimes we want to solve some problems, we want to work very quickly, and when you get caught up on like the little details of like what typeface you should use and what size everything should be, and how's this going to work, you kind of miss the big overall picture when you focus on those details. But
we could nerd out on the details for a while
if we
really wanted
totally
to.
We totally could. So, you know. So yesterday we just kind of got that up and going, and so, you know, Danielle and I were talking last night, and we're like, well, there's so many great ideas out here on Uservoice. So like Danielle and I had been sort of talking about some of the challenges we have working here as part of the Adobe Design Group yesterday, and so we thought, hey, well, why don't we go see what people are suggesting on Uservoice? And there's some really, really cool stuff. I don't know if the chat has anything they would like to see in XD, but there's some, if they do, they can add it here, they can put it in the chat, but there's some really great stuff in here. And one kind of caught our eye a little bit. And the designer who posted this posted actually like his working solution for it. Like he said that basically like, I would love to see comments and annotations actually inside of XD, but until we do have that, here's my workaround. So he actually attached XD files to this Uservoice request to actually show us how he was actually doing this right now in his workflow. So we went and checked that out, and this is who. Let me see, make sure. Mama Lai. I love the foreign names. So Mama Lai, if you are out there, this is an idea that really kind of stuck with us because he was kind of using the tools that XD already has to solve this problem. And what he's done here is he's created some symbols for some little call-outs. So little annotation symbols here. And then he's actually been placing those directly on his design, and then just kind of like attaching like some comments, you know, kind of styling them just with some text boxes and some objects actually in XD. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if I don't think he did any prototypes here, but we could easily actually kind of string this together and actually prototype it ourselves. But I just thought it was like this has been the most exciting part, I think, of like how we're building products at Adobe now, is really just connecting directly with designers and creatives, and really having them help us guide kind of the direction of our products.
It's cool to see attachments too, like to see visually even what he had in his head, so we can like maybe there's some really interesting things in there. I mean, it's cool just to see his work around instead of just even describing it, but it's nice to like have attached files to like dig through. Yeah, just to be like, oh, that's clearly what he's has in mind. Yeah. And I think it's a bigger, like it's an interesting problem to think about of like the comments and things like that. Like
you see, Hassan says this is a great idea. So
nice.
They also approved this.
Excellent. Well, we're gonna prep it now. We need your help on what we're gonna call day 2 here, our project name. So be thinking about that. But sorry, Danielle, go ahead.
No, I just think like commenting across or figuring out like when you come to a file, like knowing what the designer, if it wasn't you, like intended, or like if you have questions, like knowing certain aspects of like what to do when you click through, like there isn't any sense of that necessarily. Like comments seems like there's a lot of room to play there to figure out like what that would look like in XD.
I agree. Like if we have big teams here and we're all sharing files, and like if I share a file with Danielle, like she probably first off knows that I never name my layers. So that right there, she's starting at a disadvantage because I do a terrible job labeling anything. But like she is kind of in the dark. She has to figure out like for herself as she's trying to use maybe some components or maybe some different parts of my design in her work. Like, well, is this the way Talin really intended me to use this? Like, there's no real way to communicate those ideas. I know I found myself inside of someone's file and of course misinterpreting it completely and using it to do terrible, horrible things in the world. But it would be really cool if there was a way that I could leave some kind of instruction, like, hey, don't change this. Really.
A lot of what I've seen, like in people's files, like in my files too, is when I want to leave that type of like the notes, I'm doing it like off on the side of an artboard, just making a text box, like typing in like my comments.
That's
or like some feedback.
Other people just on the side adding some comments.
Actually the
Tyler
Wayne.
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler with his style guide. He's famous
Perfect
now.
example.
We used his great style guide he created for XD, and he had left like some little notes and annotations. Again, like because he's sort of just publicly handing out this file, and so he wanted to give you kind of some instruction on how to use this style guide to be the most successful with it. So. And then Danielle actually found another one searching on actually referenced comments as well, and this poster had also created their own design. They just shared a screenshot. Yeah. You can see they were designing this in XD, and actually had again a similar need.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see the way that like each person thought about comments. Like this looks to be more specific to like an artboard, like commenting on like an artboard level versus like the other example looked like it was a lot more like inline, like specific objects maybe commenting on, and I think that's something we can play with. Or
like pinned annotations.
Yeah, pinned,
yeah. I also, what's really interesting here about this in this detail is there are 2 actions here.
Resolve and reply.
And reply. Which again, I think hints at like what's kind of interesting about this one as compared to the other one, is that this one had like a larger workflow in mind, right? Yeah. Like if I'm going to reply to this means that there's more than one person in this document, and if I'm going to resolve this,
like when working with Google Docs.
Yeah. More of a conversation.
And you do resolve, it's archived.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear on the UI anymore.
Yeah.
And reply, it becomes a conversation.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. On design, it makes sense.
So and I think there was a few others that we saw, and people are. It's amazing when people say like here's an XD file, like here's a screenshot of something that I was thinking of and working on. We'll just hire everybody from the stream to come in and design
there
XD.
You go. That's it,
They're asking where they can find the style guide again. The one you were using yesterday.
Yes, I have it up here. So it's on. He's hosted on Dribbble.
Okay.
Tyler Wayne is the username.
Okay.
And he has provided the attachment there. He's got the styleguide.xd available right there. Tyler, if you're in the chat at all, I actually have made some improvements to your file as well as I've been playing with it. I actually have added, like, integrated all of the assets panel, because I think Tyler created this before we had launched the assets panel.
Yeah.
So I actually quickly today I was messing around with it and actually created this whole assets panel from
Super
his style
useful.
guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Hold on. Look at that.
Nice.
Looks really good. So now I can just quickly, drag and drop icons out there, or I can select and actually try out some different character styles wherever I want, or if I just change it from the panel, I can see it kind of change everywhere, which is pretty great. Oh, there it was. It's over there.
Hi, Nigna. Thanks for joining. Nigna is asking, can we have this every day, the live stream? Well, okay. We have it for 3 days. Okay, it's already... It's good. So yeah, we were live days today. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yes.
Live at the same time.
We have day jobs.
But,
if we did this all day long, you would get no new features in XD.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what
We have to work.
So just live stream working.
And there are some
There you go,
questions
24/7.
about okay, what are the collaborative tools in XD? So this is definitely a theme. Like, and this is what you noticed on Uservoice, like collaboration, how to leave comments on design. Yeah, this is definitely a theme.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something we hear from designers. Right, we just need better ways to work together.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like everyone's process has been evolving. Like designers' process too has become much more collaborative, and like within the process of like while you're designing, people want to get feedback, people want to share, and that's happening more. And so like figuring out how to integrate that into the tool, I feel like is the problem now.
How many people are on your shared folder for the design lab? Do you guys have like a shared folder that you're working?
Yeah, our team is probably. I don't know how many people are in Design Lab, maybe like 10 people.
Yeah.
And like the other group, like project I'm working on right now is 6 developers, and then you have just like program managers and things like that all want to get in and take a look. So it's a lot of people. Yeah,
a lot of people who could mess up your file.
Oh yeah. Maybe not then.
Yes. So we need something that will help us at least communicates like what you should be doing with the file that's sitting there in the shared folder. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dira says that XD helped me land a web design project. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's for web design too. This morning actually we had Jessica and Claude from Telepathy. They designed a web experience.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, a web. It was a gift warp paper, shopping experience. So you would create a pattern, and then you would see at the end a gift and the paper, and you say, okay, I want to purchase this one. So very nice. So yeah, you can watch the replay, by the way, of this episode with if you're interested in web design.
Yeah, those guys are great. That was fun to see.
Can XD have a basic asset panel built in for quick prototyping? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by default. Oh. Okay.
I
So there are some UI kits.
There is. Do you have the link? I don't. I don't have the link handy, but there is that new wireframe UI kit we just put out.
Yeah, I've heard of this one.
Okay, we need to find. I'll find that link before the end of the stream today.
Yeah, we'll find it.
So yes, so we just worked with this really amazing studio called Creative Dash, and they
is it released?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's released. Yeah. And
I'm sure we tweeted about it. I will find it.
Yeah, they held in collaboration with us. We created a really great sort of toolkit for wireframing. So it has a bunch of components that are just ready to copy and paste into files. And I believe the asset panel, it's got the full asset panel in there as well. So you've got your character styles and everything all laid out. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think I found it. That's the one?
Yep, that's the one.
Oh, okay.
That's the one.
I will put the link in the chat. Who was it? Neha. It will help you.
Yep.
And everyone watching, actually.
Great starting point. So definitely check that out. It's got everything you could need or want to do wireframes with. So it's really awesome. And of course, just use that. Wire it up real quick. Bam, bam. Got a prototype. You're ready to go. Cool. All right. So yesterday we also kind of talked a little bit about kind of how we start like designing a feature idea. So Danielle, actually, her team has a great sort of process, like for kicking off and sort of developing new ideas. And so, yeah, you want to share kind of a little bit about how your team works and how you guys start off on a new project?
A little bit more about, sort of the ideation process and getting through to like a prototype. So we're built with basically like half designers, half developers, so we're sort of lucky in that regard. And then we basically will come up with ideas, whether it's like a team brainstorm or people just have individual ideas of things that are interesting to them that they want to work on. And so we basically will pitch those ideas to the team, and the general framework of what it is that we come up with is, okay, like who is your user and what is the user problem that you're trying to solve, and then coming up with, okay, what is this like short-term prototype or idea that you want to solve and see out, and what's that sort of longer-term vision, because I think it's important to keep in mind like that big vision of like the bigger story that you really want to sell. But for us, especially since we're not tied to any product team, like we could really do a lot of things and explore. It's good to stay narrow because otherwise we could really play anywhere and do anything. So we keep it kind of narrow, and then basically we'll pitch the idea to the team and sort of gauge where everyone else is. And you know, along with that comes a lot of like some research or starting research to figure out like what else exists in this space, right? And how are people currently trying to solve the problem that they have? Like, is there a workaround right now, or what are people doing? And then we sort of move forward with trying to make that first sort of mini prototype to come back and solve that problem.
Yeah, I mean, so we were doing some of that discovery process. I think, you know, here today as we were looking at Uservoice, and what was great was that a lot of the designers were just providing a lot of that stuff for us to kind of like, you know, both kind of earlier validate. You know, it's like, oh, there's something here. People are interested in this. Yeah. This is how some people think it might work. So those are all things we can pull from to really start piecing together that end-to-end story, you know, around, in our case, you know, annotations and commenting inside of XD. So we're actually here. I actually started kind of getting us ready here. Okay. Here I have actually a design file from my team. So this is actually the official XD UI. Ooh, high fidelity. Actually just inside of an XD file. So you can see like all of this is exactly designs that my team uses when we're starting to design sort of any new feature in XD. And it's very, very Inception-like, as we always mentioned, to have, you know, the toolbar next to you know, the toolbar, and of course then you sort of launch the preview window, and now you're really detailed. It's like I'm constantly clicking. No, I can't. That's not the real toolbar. That's the real toolbar. Okay, good.
Oh my god, so confusing.
It's a little weird. It's a unique challenge. So you know,
that's cool.
So this is kind of where I think maybe we'll kind of start today. And so Danielle and I are going to be kind of tag teaming this. But so after you've done that initial discovery phase, kind of what's the next phase? Where do you start? Do you jump right in to a program like XD, or what's that next step for you?
We'll talk about sort of like thinking. So we have our problem where we're talking about, okay, we want to figure out commenting right within XD, and that's like really high level what we're trying to think about. And then I think it's sort of narrowing that down and talking about the really initial workflow that we want that's like core to it, because there's a lot we could tag onto this. But I mean, even just with the two examples that we looked at that people had posted, it's like, okay, like, do we want to do artboard level comments? Do we want to do like this larger story where people are replying to each other and, you know, resolving things? I think just sort of figuring out exactly what it is we want to prototype and design, and then we can go into like more of the flows more specifically.
So what do you think? So we said we want to be able to communicate to someone else who's coming into the file. So we're assuming there's going to be more than one person accessing this file. I want to leave a comment. What do I want to? I mean, the type of instructions that we would normally sort of give, that's a good idea. Like what level are we sort of communicating at? Is it cool that we would go, like, could we go down and select any object and add a comment to any object? Would that would that kind of be useful, or is it just per artboard?
Right, yeah, because I think, okay, we could have object level the pro with that is you have a lot more specificity on like where and what you're talking about. The con might be you might have a lot of comments everywhere. Like, is it gonna get noisy like all over your artwork, right? So like visually thinking about where we might place that, and
that's a good point. Everywhere. Is there a way to like because it could get, if you're commenting on every little thing, it could get really busy. Is there a way to
it might be
turn
like
it on and off?
Yeah, turn it on and off, or maybe it's like hover states or something like that. Like you can see on our artboard level that you have comments. Yeah. And then maybe
if you select one comment, it will show you the like instead of showing like the yellow bubbles everywhere on an artboard, it's maybe when you select one comment that it will show you, the connection. So you just show it like one at a time. Yeah. It could be a list of comments associated to one artboard or something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be very noisy. That's the experience we have in Acrobat.
That's
you have
true.
The little,
yeah.
the pins everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could be if you see like at the top of your artboard, okay, I have comments on here. If you even hover over like whatever that UI is that we indicate that there are comments, like once you do that, you can see where they are all over. Yeah. And then you can just, go and click on them, but it's not like they're not always persistent on your artwork.
Nice. That's a really good point. So I'm just sort of sketching up some ideas here in my sketchbook, because I'm visual. I just want to think through this visually, and I'm thinking about this sort of like displaying comments in the artboard level, but being able to highlight a specific object to reference inside of a comment. Yeah. Okay.
We have Martin joining the chat. He's a long-time XD user since the beta launch. And one thing that would be huge would be to export the XD designs into CSS.
Oh, yeah.
So he's asking if this is something that we could consider, or...
Yeah, we're definitely looking at, like, we're talking a little about designer to designer collaboration right now, but we have being able to share prototypes with users or stakeholders is another collaboration, and we're really interested in designer to developer collaboration. So we're definitely looking at it. It's something that we've been I think has been requested on Uservoice. So Martin, if you go to our Uservoice, you can upvote it to again kind of put its visibility a little higher to the top. But it definitely is a big priority for us. We definitely want to. We all have that problem, I think, of communicating our designs to our developers and making sure that they have all the information they need. And we do a lot of exporting and we do a lot of all that stuff. But wouldn't it just be easier if we could just take this bundle and just like send a link to a developer and have them get all the information that they need from that?
Yeah.
Assets, code. That'd be really cool. Definitely something we're looking at, Martin.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out the beta, though.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, I've been using it for a long time, and I love it. So it's always great to hear from other people who have also been in there helping us, really, kind of define our roadmap. So, yeah, thanks, Martin. Also, it looks like the Creative Cloud, that was Michael, I think, posted a really awesome UI kit. You should go check out.
Yeah.
So
it's in the chat.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So you want to start prototyping?
Yeah.
Also, let me remind our friends that they can also, as we are live, work in XD and share with us some prototypes. So let me go through the contest video maybe, because we want to give away a Creative Cloud subscription to the best prototype we will receive during this show. So we invite you to download and use Adobe XD and design at least a 3-screen experience. Then you can jump to the prototype workspace, connect your screens, choose nice transitions, and preview your prototype, make sure it works. And then there is a share button. It will upload all the assets in the cloud and create a link that you can copy and tweet, so we can catch it live and we will feature the prototypes that you share. And the best, our favorite prototype, the author will win a Creative Cloud subscription 1 year. So
nice.
You can download XD. The theme is shopping, so it has to be a shopping experience. Any kind of experience will work. And we actually already received 2 experiences. The first one is not shopping, so but it's a prototype made with XD, so it's always good to feature it. So if we can show my screen, the first one, so it was by PJ. Okay, so People Plus. So I will log in. Oh yeah, so it looks like professional enterprise. Yeah, to manage some assets apparently, banking details. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good use case.
Yeah.
And another one has been shared by Danielle. We'll say Danielle. Okay.
I should spell my name that way. Like with some numbers, throw some numbers in. Yeah.
A drone shop. Okay, let's see that. Okay, so that's the shop.
We got some scrolling.
Scrolling, yeah.
Oh, I bet that's a repeat grid.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The Visa. Oh, that's my card. John Doe. Thank you. Okay. So nice low fidelity. We're talking about low fidelity. You know, when you don't want to deal like, we understand that this is a paragraph.
Yeah.
A description. It's enough to share your idea. Yeah. And make it work. Thank you. And then after you can give it to a designer who will work on a nice thank you experience. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Awesome.
Nice.
So keep curating, keep sharing. Just have to share on Twitter. Don't forget to add the Adobe Live hashtag.
Yeah.
Okay, Talin.
All right. So, you know, Danielle, we talked a little bit about like high fidelity versus low fidelity. We could kind of do in tandem because sometimes, you know, there might be someone who's focused on the kind of end-to-end experience and someone who might be going kind of deep on like a component. So if we want to, do you want to take on maybe the low fidelity?
Yeah, maybe I'll tell that story.
You kind of tell that end-to-end story, and while you're doing that, I'm also going to be working on some more high fidelity stuff that we can drop in our prototype when we're ready.
That sounds good. Yeah, because the other thing I was just even thinking about with these comments we were talking about is like, if we have them object-based and we're talking about how noisy are they going to get or not noisy are they going to be, like how much is it a string of a conversation? And that gets kind of long if you have a lot of back and forth. So something to keep in mind. I don't know how we want to deal with that, but
definitely. So I found a really great app from one of my colleagues on the XD team. He designed this really awesome sort of music app, and we're going to use that as our high fidelity. But yeah, so I'll be working on some of those like more high fidelity components. Maybe I'll work on like the chat pod, so you can just put that placeholder in, and I'll work on like actually adding some avatars and, you know, getting some real people, real data in there, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so maybe I'll work on, okay, like you're on this artboard, what is it, and you have it selected, how do you know that you have any comments even there, and just start with sort of low fidelity of that.
Yeah, or how do you make a comment? Maybe you start like how do you make your first comment? So you've got a design, right? Like how do you see that? How does that show up, you know?
Yeah.
So people who want their prototypes to be featured, you can tweet them again, okay? And I am monitoring Twitter. So Talin, you're working on
Yes, I'm working on a little chat pod component, and Danielle's going to work on putting like how do you add a comment to something?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi Fatih, thanks for joining.
And I'm going to be using, of course, the asset panel because that is just my favorite thing. So I'm going to be adding and making some character styles as I go here. Because again, I want to be able to at any time go back and change this quickly. You know, one of our I remember when one of our original kind of taglines was design at the speed of thought. Like everything in XD was really meant to just get out of my way as a designer, so I can design and iterate as quickly as possible. Again, because that's going to get me to, you know, that next great thing. You know, it's going to get me to keep thinking and keep working and not worry about like fighting the tool, you know, to make it do what I want, or do a lot of management, you know, and do all that stuff. So
Something I'm thinking about right now is, okay, do we want to have this panel on the side that has more of a larger story of commenting, and then like you have more of your properties, and then you have comments, and then when you click to go to comment section, you can have a sort of larger,
or like a running list of comments. All right. using some global colors here. Okay, so we've got. Oh, I think if you open up that assets panel, you've got some colors, global colors right there.
Man.
Look at that. So I have.
I'm at my panel over here.
Yeah, these colors are actually from like
these.
our design team style guide. Like these are our actual colors, like as defined by our style guide. And we actually have a whole XD document that I've converted into, you know, a full sort of style guide to share with the team. So those colors are official Adobe UI
XD
colors right there.
UI,
Nice.
You got to be careful. You could be, you know, 1 or 2 digits off, and then it wouldn't be on brand.
Don't want that.
No.
Melissa is asking, is it possible to open XD file in After Effects, or we need to go in Illustrator? What do you want to do, Melissa?
Yeah.
Why would you want to open it in After Effects? If it's to add the transitions between the screens, you can do it in XD. If it's to record a video, you can do it with XD. So what would be the use case? Zach, using the assets panel, thanks to that, you can really make changes very quickly, like using global colors, global styles.
I love it. It's so good. High-fidelity. I'm gonna do.
Hi Kevin, welcome. Oh, we have a lot of people sharing now.
Oh, nice.
Prototypes. Okay, let's read you some prototypes because we just received a lot. We have Hassan, Brad, Azer Design Studio, and Claudia. Okay, so let's start with Hassan. Should be this one. The job site fixer app. Okay, profile order job site. Browse the job sites. Yeah, with a map. Nice, good job. Stefano, okay. Get more details. Can only come back. Okay, that's your profile. Nice. Oh, there is more. Oh, yeah, when you check the balance.
Yeah. He even kind of had like, he did like a little overlay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very clean. Yeah, very professional. Good job. Then this is Brad. Who is this one? Yeah, Brad. Katumba Music. Okay. New products shop now. Okay, we'll take the electric guitar. Oh, heavy
nice
metal.
guitars.
Very nice.
With a map. Okay, how many screens? Wow, 9 screens.
Nice.
Video. Oh, it's emulating a video player.
There you go.
That's smart. Yeah, good job. Very good. This one is by Azer Design Studio. So we'll log in. Oh, Adobe Stock. Yeah, thanks for using Stock. Actually, Adobe Stock is super convenient because when you design a prototype, you don't really care about the watermark. So you can just grab assets in this huge catalog, and if the customer approves your design, then you can license them. I think that's good.
Yeah, it's super handy. I think as you're just trying to like get something, maybe you want to get some feedback or get some approval
nice.
from your stakeholders.
Very nice, Azer and Claudia. Oh yeah, Claudia, I wanted to share it again. Number 1. Okay, let's take Kowalski. Oh, here you are.
All right.
Hello. and you tried different glasses. Oh,
Oh, nice.
Are they changing?
Ooh.
Nice.
We had some Harry Potter glasses right there.
Okay, you like this one, and you want to shop, or don't know. Very nice.
Oh, that's pretty. I
pretty
like.
fun.
Yes, I like
Good job,
the
Talin.
try on your glasses. That's very good.
Okay, so Danielle, she works very fast. So it's, we need to catch up now.
No. No.
Oh,
I was
okay,
ju-
what do you got going
well,
on
so
here?
I think
Yeah.
you were right. Like, I think I started in a place of like looking at, okay, you have like your properties over here, and then maybe you have an icon for the comments that you have on the side. And then you could basically click and change and select those comments and then see a running list of all these comments that you have here.
Yeah.
But I think I jumped ahead a little, and so I'm going back into, okay, maybe I just need to select an object, and there will be like an artboard sort of select for adding a comment, and then I can click on that, and it'll be object based, right, and have a comment here.
So I've got the object selected, and then a little comment icon pops up, and I click on that,
and then you can create.
and then like the little
dialogue.
annotation. Oh,
yeah, will come up.
That's cool. Okay, so you're gonna prototype that out. You're gonna have those.
I'm gonna prototype that out in low fidelity, and then you'll work on. Yeah, you're
Excellent,
doing that.
excellent. So I've got here
Paul. Thanks for
basically,
watching.
you know, just a nice little sort of chat, sort of pod going on here, and I'm sort of designing for like the state it'll eventually end up in. So I'm gonna use actually the repeat grid, and I'm gonna kind of imagine like, well, there's probably gonna be multiple people sort of commenting over time. So now I have this little, basically this little lockup here. I have a place for an avatar. I have so the name of the person who made the comment, and then of course I have some action buttons because I really liked, you know, I feel like that gave us some place to kind of like build on, is like, you know, workflows. So there's the basic commenting workflow, but maybe setting up that where we can have threaded comments, and I can maybe resolve the feedback, you know, so that it's not showing up all the time.
Nice.
So I'm going to take that little lockup, and I'm just going to do my favorite thing, which is turn on the repeat grid, and then just repeat that out there. And of course, now I can go in here, and I'm going to change this one to my comment. Great. And of course, you know, you need some avatars. So I don't. How many people in the chat use Creative Cloud libraries?
Yeah, good
Anybody
question.
a Creative Cloud library user?
Let us know. Creative Cloud libraries, yes, no.
Yeah.
Do you use them?
Because I'm gonna show kind of a workflow that we launched. Actually, you know what? We don't. Maybe it's not there yet. Oh, it's not there yet. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm actually interested.
Almost got you.
Almost got me.
Ooh, so
oh boy.
close.
Oh, Zach says we use them all the time.
Yeah.
Brad also, all the time.
Yeah, Zach. Because I saw Zach earlier mention that he loves the assets panel.
Oh, okay.
So
Catherine
Timothy,
also,
yeah,
all the
good.
time.
Yep.
I am, Azer, Asen, good.
So we launched some early support for Creative Cloud libraries inside of XD. So if
And
you
just
have,
unveiled that there is
we
more
just
coming.
yeah, no, just unveiled that there's more coming. I'm you know, like I'm always on the bleeding edge using like the latest builds, and I know a little too much. But I have a habit of sneaking new things on its way. But
You
yes,
ask enough,
yes,
Talin might just slip that
it might
information.
just get me talking and really excited about something. But I just happen to have a handy little folder of avatars of my friends that I use all the time. Don't have it. Actually, I should just go. Actually, I'm going to add to this. I'm just going to go grab Danielle's avatar real quick, because that's who we're. There's Danielle. I'm going to drag her there. And now she's become one of my go-to avatars here. And I'm just gonna take our avatars, I'm just gonna drop them right into the repeat grid.
Nice.
Boom, there we go.
Nice.
All right, here we are, Danielle and I having a conversation. And I actually really love there's that little form, that little chat form there. Like, I'm gonna just add to keep going, like, because we want to be able to sort of click in and make a comment.
Oh, join the conversation.
Yeah.
Good inspiration there.
Yes, yes. Always looking for that. Nice. You see, I'm using, character styles here. So what I can do now that I have my character style, I can go and I can try, I want to try different colors here, and you can see it changing in real time on my canvas. Or I could try a different typeface, right? Or just, undo and just go back to what I had.
And are you right-clicking on the character style?
Yeah. So I'm right-clicking on the character style. I can edit that right there. Nice. I can also do that the same thing with the global colors. I can edit those right in line here. So working in this way really just helps me keep this really seamless. I'm just quickly adding and trying new things, new ideas, and of course you can have character styles and symbols sort of inside of a repeat grid, and have all kinds of cool sort of nested interactions going on. So we need like a chat icon. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, we will.
So I'm gonna make our little form here into a symbol. So our little chat pod is now a symbol. There we go. So what we can do now, of course, is as I keep designing this, if we do more flows and we have more comments, I can just quickly grab these components and start, adding them across. And then if I change something, it'll change everywhere, which is really super handy. So, okay. So I'm gonna go look and work on I'm gonna work on a chat icon real quick because I know we need one. So I'm gonna draw a quick chat icon.
Yeah, we had Claude this morning. He was designing like very minimalistic icons using Illustrator, and I was like, Claude. Like 4 lines of it.
Oh no.
Oh, Claude.
Busted.
That guy. I do miss a few things that we're gonna get there though on XD. Yeah, for sure.
We'll add some design features like drawing features.
Yep, we got some more drawing features we're working on. I know they've been definitely requested on the Uservoice. So if you are an Illustrator user and you're missing something in your XD work, as I definitely miss a few things, but you should go to Uservoice and suggest them, because we definitely go there and check those out. So I'm just working on my icon here. So one of my favorite features in XD, which is like super nerdy detail, but designers, is actually the Pathfinder. So what I love about the Pathfinder is that it's non-destructive. It doesn't sort of completely destroy your design. So I'm gonna combine these two shapes.
Hi Carlos from Venezuela, thanks for joining.
But if I need to go and tweak that, I can just double click in and this stays, this is live.
So good.
Also, it's
really nice that it's not destructive.
Yeah,
you can go back in. Yeah.
Super nice. And what's also cool is I can just like toggle between different states. So I'm like, I don't remember what that icon does. Oh, there you go.
All right, that's it.
All right, and again, it just stays live. That's just a nice little detail. One of my favorite little details in XD. There, I'm making.
So Brad says smart objects would be a good start. Like, would be cool in XD. So Brad, are you talking about like smart PSD files, Illustrator files?
Yeah,
let us know, like, what do you mean by smart objects? Because we have symbols in XD.
Yeah, let me show you. I actually was just gonna show symbols here.
Yeah.
So let me show you that. So I'm just making my.
Hi Ed from Moscow. Whoa, must be very late in Moscow. What time is it in Moscow? Must be midnight at least.
So now I have my
Illustrator smart objects. Okay.
Yeah, so so we're going to have a workflow. So what we're working on right now and will be coming in the next month or two is actually support for graphics from Creative Cloud libraries, from Illustrator and Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
As linked objects inside of XD.
So that's this concept of cloud smart objects.
Basically cloud smart objects. So I'll be able
Awesome.
to work.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be great to basically bring in the things you've created in Photoshop and Illustrator into XD, and if you go and update them inside of Photoshop or Illustrator, they'll automatically update wherever you use them inside of XD.
Wow.
So it's super great. But of course I have this icon, so I'm actually just going to create a symbol of it. And of course now when I have the symbol, if I go in there and I want to keep tweaking that, it updates everywhere that symbol's being used.
Nice.
So let's say I'm going to dive in and maybe I'm going to edit.
Ooh, Brad is very excited.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes. It's a really awesome feature. Oh, it's the problem of working inside. Oh. There we go. So I completely moved my UI there. I forgot to lock that bottom layer. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. So Danielle, how do you
I'm
doing?
gonna
Have a
hook
look at
mine up
Danielle's
now.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you at, Danielle?
So I am starting with, and I looked at sort of like the basic frame that you have with these three sort of main objects here.
Yep.
So I'm sort of looking at, and I'm going to hook this up in a second. Okay, so I have these objects. I want to select one of them. So I want to select that center object. And now that I've selected it, like I want basically to show the comment icon.
Nice.
I'm going to start hooking this up right now. Let's go into the prototype mode. So select this object, and I'm going to hook it up to the screen over here. And then once that object is selected, I want this little comment icon to appear. So that will be something that I could then click. And then once I do click on that, I basically get this little pop-up where I can see, oh, okay, I can, let me zoom in here, add a comment, and basically just right away just start typing and add a little annotation for that object specifically, and then there'll be some button to basically press and be like, okay, like let's add this and make sure that it's a confirmed action in there.
Nice.
So let's test this out.
Let's do it. Let's see it.
Quick. So play. So I have this object here. I'm going to click on it. I get a little icon or a supposed icon for the chat, and then when I click on that, I can now add a comment within here, and then I would click in here, start typing.
Nice. Look at that.
Very simple.
All right, so this is the really cool thing about XD is that now that Danielle has her prototype wired up, she can share this and we can paste it right into the chat, and they can start giving us feedback in real time.
Yeah.
It's super cool. So did the chat, we gotta have them. So chat, one of the things that we like to do that really helps us really like talk about and share ideas is that our projects have to have really cool names.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yes.
We need a cool name.
So
for this
chat,
one.
we need a cool name for our new annotation feature in XD, so that when maybe you go on Uservoice and you suggest this feature, or you upvote it, you reference this really cool name, and then it really stands out. And we do that internally in Adobe too. When we come up with a really cool project, we give it a cool name, and then it kind of gives it a little
Gives it a little bit of life.
Yeah, a little bit of life. So we need a name, chat, for our new annotation feature. Project Top Hat. Oh yeah, that's not bad.
I think people really riff off of your hat. There's something about the hat that keeps. I'm seeing this theme.
The hat just it's a supporting. It's
Day one was Project Fedora.
Yes.
Now we're seeing day two, Project Top Hat.
Definitely becomes a major.
I feel like by the third day, I should be wearing a hat. Like just join
Everybody
the
has a hat.
theme. Yeah.
Yes. Design chat. Project Ender Cooper. Cedric, where is that coming from?
I know the story.
You know you know that one? Oh no.
That's the nickname of my son on Twitch. So that's why.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
really?
All right.
Yeah.
What does he stream?
No, he was part
Twitch.
of like when I was streaming on Twitch. Sometimes he would be a guest.
Ah,
on the
there
show.
you go.
He would draw Pokemons with Photoshop Sketch on an iPad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, live.
Very cool. Very cool.
On demand.
Love that.
Ground control.
Ground control.
Okay.
Project ground
Fish
control.
hook. Okay. Noti. Yeah.
Chatterbox.
Chatterbox.
That's not bad. That's a project or like something. I don't know what. Michael, what do you think we should call it?
Something with feedback. Project blah blah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
All right. So Danielle, do you want to
Again.
save the file? Do a save as and do the project name, whatever we're gonna go with. Project. Are we gonna go with? Let's see. How about Project Yada Yada? That's kind of like blah blah.
That's
No,
okay.
I don't know.
It's
Or
close.
uh,
Yada, yada.
or Project Loop, as in like feedback loop.
Like a loop.
Yeah. Project Loop. You guys
Not
like
bad.
Project Loop?
Yeah.
That's pretty catchy.
Loop. Yeah.
All right. So do a save as
All right, let's see this.
and save it as Project Loop.
Okay. There's Battlefish. Check. Looper. Ah yeah.
Yeah. And then
It's coming.
why don't you kick off the share and actually get us our link. That was our home. Did we double check our home
Yeah,
screen?
let's make sure that this one is going to be our home. This was home before, right? Yeah.
Oh, good. It did it.
It is.
It did it automatically.
Yeah, so there's the little tabs here, the little home icon. So since this one's blue and selected, it now automatically knows this one is my
Great.
home to start the prototype.
Let's see, and then grab the link and let's see if we can't put it out there. Let's go out there and see it. There it is on the
Nice.
web.
You can click through. Bam.
Pretty simple now, but we're gonna
Very
keep
simple.
adding to that.
Okay.
All right, and then how should we get it over? We want to get it to the.
To
Oh, yeah, to the chat.
to
Yeah.
yeah. You can
So
go on
you can go
Behance
to
and
the
paste
top
it.
link. Oh, just go to the Behance, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to the Behance.
Yeah. So for the people on YouTube, we are also live on Behance, so you will see the experience.
Let's post it in the chat.
Yeah, and just paste it here. Yeah. And I will ask the mode to paste it in the YouTube chat. Okay. Thanks.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool. So you guys can go check it out, click through it yourself. It's pretty simple, but we're gonna keep adding to it, and every time we update, it's gonna update at that same link.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Augustus. He's got it there.
Okay. Here we go. So yeah, make sure to add comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have ideas.
So as you add comments, Danielle will actually get notified via the Creative Cloud app on your desktop, on her desktop, like as those comments are coming in live. That's pretty cool.
That's Thor.
See, that's the project name. See, you
Yeah,
gotta have
that's
a
a
good.
project name.
Everybody refers
true,
to it
yeah.
here as
True,
Thor.
internally.
You
We
can't
call it
ditch
Thor.
that. Yeah, yeah,
That's the Creative Cloud desktop app.
yeah. So I'm gonna work on so what do you are you? So once you close out of that comment, like, do you have an idea? Were you thinking about how are you gonna integrate in, because you had that comment thread up there
did,
that you kind of
yes.
intended, yeah.
Yeah, I have this comment thread up here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking maybe, like, do we want to show just basically on object level, like all the comments, so then you can actually maybe click through and it will just select or guide you to, or is it basically like, maybe it's the whole document wide, and then that way you can see like all the comments across, and then if you just click on one, it will navigate you to the artboard that
That's
you have
cool.
comments.
Because, you know, like, one of the things that might be kind of crazy, which this is kind of the Acrobat thing a little bit too, is that, like, you'd have comments on like all these pages and all these places, and you would have to click through the whole document and hunt down all of those comments. But I think that's a really good point. Like, if there was one place inside of XD, so as people are adding comments and annotations all throughout the document, to see that full stream, you know, comments.
Because maybe you know exactly, like, you come back in, like, you know exactly which comment you're kind of looking for, but maybe you don't want to look through all the artboards and like click and hover or whatever.
It could be
Could just
contextual,
be-
such as the layers panel.
It's true. Yeah.
You select
Yeah.
an artboard and
Just
have the comments on the
there you
artboard.
go.
Oh yeah, so
That's
if you're
good
on
too.
a certain layer, you have a certain artboard.
or a certain artboard. You know, like the layers panel today,
Yeah.
it adapts. So it could be the same for
That's
the
cool.
comments.
I like that.
because Acrobat I think has a panel where it lists everything, but it's all or nothing. So if you have like 55 pages, you would have
everything.
The whole, just all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess if you have nothing selected, you'd have everything. But then if you select an artboard, maybe then it minimizes and just shows you what you have on the artboard level.
Nice.
I like that. That's cool.
So we have Jack de los Santos asking if he can become an intern, like an internship in your team.
Yeah.
Do you have interns?
We do have interns,
okay.
Yeah. In fact, we the Adobe XD team has an design intern right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know how they could apply, or what's the? Maybe
so we do the internships run. Our programs run in the summer. So our internship programs run over the summer, and we just wrapped up. Like I said, like our intern's getting ready to wrap up his time pretty soon. So we had him over the summer, and so every summer, I think on the Adobe, there's a big thing that goes out on the Adobe job site, and I think we have do we have a big intern fair? Maybe we used to.
I don't know if we do right now.
Yeah, I think, but so every summer we have internship programs. Yeah. But of course, you could also reach out directly to the different teams, and like I said, everybody kind of runs it. Maybe sometimes during the year, maybe there's an opportunity. Those always kind of come up. Yeah. So
I started here as an intern.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yeah,
that's right.
I was an intern here.
How did you? So she knows better than I do. What? All right.
No, I mean, for me, it was through my school a little bit more. Like I think they came to our school, like Adobe came to the school, and then I went to a school that had like a co-op program, so you can alternate between 6 months of school, 6 months of work. Nice. And so I was at Adobe for 6 months, like 3 years ago or something like that.
Oh wow,
yeah,
I totally
so I was here for
that.
longer. Yeah,
I had totally forgotten that you came on that way.
And then I just finished my last semester and then stayed on full time after that.
That's a lot. It works out that way a lot of the times, right? You go and intern in a place, and then they like you like them, and you get a job there. Yeah,
it was nice doing 6 months because you get a good feel for, like instead of I feel like 3 months is so quick, and sometimes it takes a long time just to get onboarded with everything. Yeah. So got a lot of time to really see like projects through, which was really nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And you did some great work as well. So that's also why they kept you around. You're just very
can't get rid of me now.
All right, so I am designing out your comments panel here. So
nice.
Yes. So
I'm sure this has everything.
So I like that idea of like contextually showing like on the. So I'm gonna do like little categories to sort of to divide the comments, keep them all kind of nicely sort of tied together. So I'm gonna do. So that was our home screen artboard. So I'm gonna now use that here as our divider here. So I'm going to take that. Actually, I think what I want to do is make this a little. Did anybody else share any prototypes? Are they still?
No, if you make sure to share your prototypes, what you create with Adobe XD on Twitter. Just add the hashtag Adobe Live.
And if you have any questions about XD or design,
the team, the career,
feed them in here. Let's see, Augustus. Oh,
to someone. We had Alex.
Yeah, you guys can hit us up on Twitter. Those are our Twitter handles. Yeah.
And we have Alex in the chat. He did a 1 week internship at Google, but he's only 14. That's in France, we call it like enterprise discovery. You just spend 1 week in a company, and you take notes basically, and you have to interview a lot of people, and then you have a report, and that's for all the kids when you are 13, 14
that's
years
cool.
old. You go 1 week in a company.
That's a cool program.
It could be anything. It could be companies such as Adobe. It could be a fashion store, like ice cream store, like anything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ice cream. Did you say ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh, thought I heard the word ice cream. Oh, sounds good. Got me hooked.
It's a little. The lights get a little warm, so I think it's probably what ice cream.
It does get warm,
Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk outside, and today it's like misty, raining. I'm not gonna want ice cream anymore. I will still want ice cream.
Okay, so I have our comments panel shaping up here as well. I'm also gonna I'm gonna put our little selection state on the object, which will help us tell that story. So I'm gonna have a nice little overlay, selection overlay here.
Zach is asking a question about the hover states. Is there any way to?
So yeah, Zach, it's been a hot topic on Uservoice.
Yeah.
And we are working on more prototyping capabilities.
Oh, okay.
So there's going to be hopefully more support for web. So it's always been helpful when people sort of when they suggest it, they sort of add like the use case. It's like, do they want hover states per object? Do they want hover states per artboard? Like we're working on sort of adding more fidelity to prototyping over time. So so we're definitely looking at hover states. We're very, very interested in that, and more advanced prototyping capabilities.
Yeah, I was actually in the office today. Someone was talking about the hover states.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a spy.
Oh no! I'm saying too much. No.
we all have a big Slack channel where we talk about that was actually one of the first things we did as a team. Like when we first started, and we called it Project Sparkler at the time. Gotta have a good name. One of the first things we did because
before Comet.
Before Comet. It was that's a little trivia there for everyone on the stream today. So it was called Project Sparkler, and one of the first things we had just all started using Slack in the design organization.
Okay.
And so the first thing that we did as a team, there was 4 of us that started the first prototype that became XD. We started a public Slack channel. So we were actually talking with each other and sending ideas back and forth, and anybody from the design org could just sort of like peek in and see what was going on. Rob Zilla. Zilla's in the house.
Shout out to Rob Zilla.
Nice. What's up? What's up, Rob? Dude, we need to stream together. I need to stream with Rob sometime.
Yeah.
We gotta get him using XD though. That Zilla, you gotta be using. I want to see you using.
This is something we should try at Max.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Rob and Talin. We need to find a creative angle, but
we do. We could do it. There's something there. There's a way. But basically we had this open Slack channel. We would just share prototypes, and we were just sharing. Like as we were developing new ideas and new features for Sparkler, we were sharing them in this channel, and we had all the designers in the design org could just like come in and give us feedback, right from the beginning, and actually that's how we kind of grew the team. Some of our first sort of as we grew the team a little more, some of those first new members came from that Slack channel. It was super cool. So yeah, there's always good ideas going back and forth on the Adobe Design project. Sparkler / Comet Slack channel. So a lot of good ideas came from that channel. Wow. So
did we decide on a name? Oh, we did. Project Loop.
Project Loop, yes.
Yeah, Loop.
I think that's a good. That's a good name.
Yeah.
Alex says, it's a very good program. Yeah. Let us know in the chats who is discovering Adobe XD for the first time this week. Or if not, for how long are you using the beta of Adobe XD? Or when did you discover Adobe XD? Yeah, I'd like to know.
Always. Yeah, we always like to hear your stories and hear what things you're liking.
Yeah, what is your story with Adobe XD?
Yeah, things you're missing, that you haven't seen yet. Yeah, we like hearing all of that.
Talin, you're working on a high-fidelity
I am.
It's getting real.
I'm adding some real
the
detail
right there. Versus this, right? I've got this hooked up, which is basically I have this side panel now.
Okay, you got your side panel
Where I
now.
have properties, which is selected now, and this would be comments. I would select the comments, right? And I could see everything in my artboard, like all the artboards across this entire document, like all the comments in there. But if I select and focus on like this artboard specifically, I will see only the comments that are specific to that artboard.
Very cool. Very cool. Very nice.
Hey Rob, by the way, I see that you're on YouTube. You should check the Behance experience. You should visit Behance, Rob, now. You should try behance.net/live. You see, there is a surprise. So yeah, Dira, you started using XD in May 2017. Okay, yeah.
Nice. So that was just a few months after the beta launch, because we launched in March. So
Yeah, no, it was in March.
it was the year. Sorry, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I
She's
I
talking
lose
about
track
May
of
of
time.
this year.
That's great to hear. What do you think so far?
Yeah. I think Yadira, she already told us that she used it for a web project.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
She did.
It's awesome.
Very cool. Okay, so we're looking very, very official here now.
And Zach, he started using it in
Nice.
preview. So so preview was. Yeah, we changed the name between preview.
That's right.
Yeah, it was preview. It was not beta.
Yeah, that's right. The
So a
original
long time
was a
ago.
preview. Yes.
And starting getting my team to use it in production in January. Whoa.
that's awesome,
Yeah,
Zach.
Zach, if you can let us know how you use it.
Yeah.
And Neha started yesterday. Okay, so probably watching Adobe Live. That's cool.
Yeah, we want to. If you get.
Oh, yeah, Dira, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
Dira, she's on
She's
YouTube.
all the
Oh,
places.
wow.
She's everywhere.
So I'm gonna use repeat grid again over here to do this. Use the repeat grid. And I'm gonna just
Repeat
go
grid.
out.
Yeah. Looks good.
It's so
Yeah.
fast. to just
So
get that.
so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts to look just really looking real, and I can say, home screen. I can say this is maybe the comments on search. So these are the artboard names, and then this could be on social pages. Right, there we go. I'm gonna put a little divider line right there.
Yeah, Dira, she said she prototyped her web design idea and she won the project. So I guess she was competing with other designers.
One
Good job.
of the first things I realized about prototyping, right, was if I could use prototypes to make it feel more real, that it had a greater impact, right, when I shared it with people. If I could put it in their hands, or I could let them like experience themselves, like that was what really started integrating prototyping into my design workflow. I wanted to be able, because it would take us a long time if I worked, maybe I was coding it myself, or I was working with an engineer or developer. Like there's some time in there, and it takes a while. You'll always have maybe some of the designs first, right? But when I started being able to, what I was using Keynote at the time, there was a cool Photoshop plugin that I was using. I was doing anything I could to just, get it onto my phone and actually like put it in the hands of my boss or the users I was going to be talking to. And I always got better feedback, and I usually got closer to making it real. So that's really cool to hear that you used it to land a job, because I think the more you can make it real, the more real it can feel. I think that the better chance you have of getting it sold. So
Yeah.
Someone says that your battery is at 10%.
Which
good
one of
eye.
us? Oh.
Swap. Good eye.
That was a quick,
Chat. Looking out.
Because yesterday your computer died
That's
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we have to put that in check.
Because I don't look. And as the microphone is right over,
Yeah.
I can't. So
That's fine.
But yeah, our team, like the same thing with the prototyping to like prove out a concept. We have gone to people before and pitched an idea, and they're like, oh, like sounds interesting, but like I don't really know if we can like picture it. Like they couldn't quite picture it, or like they didn't really think we could actually achieve it. And so like just coming back with, instead of just like flat designs, but a prototype, whether it was actually doing everything we said like we wanted it to be doing, right, or whether we were faking it and it was like this low fidelity prototype, would actually sell it much better. People could actually imagine it, or they'd be like, oh, now like we definitely need this. Like, is this real? Like, are you actually doing it? Like, how is this working? Right? So people ask a lot more questions, and it's just more efficient when we go to people with something that seems real, like as close as you can get to what you actually want in the end. Whether it's like a very cheap way of getting there, just helps to like sell the idea.
Yeah, it totally does. I'm gonna now start. So I'm gonna give you your states here, and then you just copy it into this one, and then when you update the prototype, it'll just get the high fidelity content like right away. Cool. So I'm gonna start kind of replicating your states. So you just keep rolling, and I'll yeah.
I'll keep jumping off this.
Zach says that so in his agency, mainly used it for apps at first, but it was great to be able to design straight onto the device. Yeah, with the device preview. Nice.
So where do you want to see this go next? So we have our full document, and we see all of our notes that we have selected in artboard, and I can now see just the specific contextual notes to that artboard. Do we want to...
Maybe what you could do is you could take, and actually almost like we're zooming out. So then we see more artboards, and then we see the full comment list again, and then we see another new comment on another artboard somewhere, and we click on that, and it pans and zooms us
directly
to that
artboard.
One. Yeah, how's that?
That sounds like a good idea.
Claudia is asking, so when is the collaboration mode ready for working together?
Which one?
Now they want it, Claudia.
Oh. Yes, I want that. That's a really interesting idea, Claudia. Yes, if we were able to work in the same file at the same time.
In real time.
In real time.
That would be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Claudia, if you haven't done that, you should go put that on our Uservoice.
Yeah, because I'm sure you never had the idea. Like the team is not picturing it.
Never thought of cloud.
Yeah.
It's come across.
It's the first time I've seen Talin so speechless before. He doesn't know what to say. Wait, what happened?
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's great.
We have a question by Bavik. What question should I be asking the client in order to determine what our UX strategy is?
So is this like early when you first meet with a client, or is this when they are seeing the prototype for the first time? Bavik,
yeah, let us know, Bavik.
Yeah.
I guess early, like maybe the first interview.
Yeah, the first. I think you should always the UX strategy. That to me translates as like, what do you want your users to do? What do you want them to be able to feel successful doing? Like a UX strategy comes out of trying to help a user feel successful using the product. So that's always one of the first things that I would ask was like, what's the problem? What's the user problem you're facing? And then how do you see them being successful? Like, how do you want them to solve that problem? And from that, and Danielle spoke to this a little bit earlier about really defining that user problem, really early. That can then lead to a phase of discovery where you go out there and do research and you validate that and you maybe see how they're doing it now, and then you look for ways to make that better. You look for a new way to do it, and then that's where you start sort of developing that UX flow, that storyboard that Danielle is working on in kind of low fidelity here. And then you continue to sort of test that along the way and get feedback and just keep iterating on it into higher and higher fidelity. And yeah, that's essentially it in a nutshell, I guess. So, Rob, yep, that would be dope, man. See, Rob could be there on the East Coast.
Yeah.
We're here, and he could be riffing on stuff in real time with us. That'd be pretty awesome. Yujira had a good reply to Bavik as well. You know, she said something
Oh,
there.
yeah, depends on the user story.
Yeah. Zach's talking about how his design agency, how they were using XD.
Yeah.
It's really great.
By user strategy also sometimes it's like the customer will call you to design an app, but maybe you will discover that this is not what the users need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's just a website or a web app, but not a native app. So yeah, I guess don't be afraid to challenge your customers.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they hire you, you know. Yeah, that's why they hire UX designers or designers and stuff, because they can't do it themselves. So they have a lot of assumptions, but shouldn't be scared about challenging them.
Mm-hmm.
You are the expert. Randy says, we have moved to XD in my group. Whoa, loving it so far.
That's great. What kind of things are...
so there is something that they miss from Zeppelin. But, they would like the handoff.
Oh, the developer handoff. Mm-hmm.
So what is
So
it?
being able to take your prototype and then be able to send a link to your developer that gives them all the measurements and basically the red line spec for implementing the design. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd
Next
like
level, yeah.
that would definitely help.
Yeah.
You know, us do our jobs better. You know.
Yeah, I'm working with 6 developers right now. It'd be
Yeah.
great to not have to one-on-one go and sit down with each of them every time.
Yeah.
Right? Like just go look at that one little link that I sent you.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. There you go. And then if I update something, if we gotta change something, and then I update it, and it just boom, it just updates live
Automatically.
on that link. Yeah.
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 Stay tuned, Randy. That's cool. Thanks for the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good feedback.
And Christoph is talking about responsive symbols.
Oh, responsive symbol. Ah, yeah.
Okay, so you would change the size of the artboard and it would change the...
Yeah. Tell us about that. What?
Yeah,
Like, how do you want them to respond?
Yeah. So it's very hard to design responsive. Like I remember the challenge they had in the Adobe Muse team, you know, to bring responsive design to Adobe Muse.
Mm-hmm.
There was this project also, remember, Reflow?
Reflow. Mm-hmm. I do.
That really inspired. Did you work on Reflow? No?
Early on in the
Yeah.
early concept phase. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
But designers from Adobe Design were again, they worked on the original prototype and became Reflow. So yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
They're asking if XD has a dark mode. I guess it's for the UI.
Yes.
Is there a dark mode in XD?
There's not a dark mode yet.
Ah.
I think it's definitely something we want.
Aw.
And I know. With that, we were kind of the light UI, team.
Come
But
on, guys. I think Felix has it.
does
Does it?
Felix has dark. Yes,
I think
they
so,
do.
no?
They do. We just don't have it yet. We're totally behind.
Come on.
I think Felix has both.
What's happening? Let me check on Felix.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, light or dark.
Man, we're behind.
Behind. I thought you were using the same UI stack. I mean, come on, guys.
We're using the same UI style guide. But again, as we talked yesterday, there's a big challenge of making sure that we have a really consistent sort of experience and style kind of across our new apps. And I think Felix and XD do a good job right now of we've got the style down, we've got the overall experience, but I think some teams are a little more ahead on things like having more user options and that dark UI. I actually saw a great one of the first things I've seen a great project. I can't recall the link. I'll have to look for it later. But a user actually created a dark UI XD
Oh, really?
and actually posted it. They're on the web, they're on here you go. Here it is. I'm like, thanks for doing that, guys. So. So I'm just I'm just matching your flow here. So we're
Nice, yeah. Yeah, so right now it's okay. I see all these comments. We've been able to see if you click on an artboard, you have contextual comments, but now it's okay. Now I've deselected again. I see all these comments. Maybe I need to, right now I'm seeing everything, right? And I'm at this larger view. Now I need to go into and maybe select from here a specific comment, and then that will take me to that specific artboard.
Gotcha, yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's see, where am I here then? I need to...
Wow, the night mode has 342 votes on Uservoice.
Oh, it does?
Does it really?
It's a big one. It's, you know, yeah, we definitely want to get there. Hang in there. Yes, Claudia, you should hypnotize all of your classmates to use XD. Or maybe bribe them. Yeah, you know, like, there are a lot of great tools out there. And I think that's, you know, one of the things that we've been trying to do with XD is really show kind of, again, like a modern design tool. Again, one that really integrates, you know, high fidelity design capabilities with prototyping, right? So, like, you know, a design app that really is DNA has, you know, motion and interaction kind of as part of its tool set, right? Like to solve the problems that designers are facing now or will continue to face as we design for these interactive experiences. So yeah, so we're, you know, and we're going to continue to add more and more features that maybe people like in some of the other apps. You know, but again, with our eye towards the future, you know, we definitely feel like we're building the app, you know, for the future. So, but yeah, but you know, there are a lot of cool tools out there. All right. So let's see. I've got the full view here. I'm going to. Okay, so when you zoom over to that artboard, or you click on that one comment to zoom you over there, would the thing on the canvas that the comment's attached to actually be highlighted?
Yeah, we should
Like
probably, if you're
you?
selecting a very specific comment, would probably already be, you'll zoom into that specific artboard and have that object selected, maybe with that comment open.
Yeah.
So Bhavik, today there is no workflow between XD, Muse, Dreamweaver. I mean, no, like export, import. Of course, you can start in XD, make sure the experience is good, and then use Muse or Dreamweaver to build your web pages. If you use Muse, I don't see why you would use Dreamweaver, by the way. So. But yeah, XD really the meaning is you want to make sure that your customer will be happy with the user experience, the users will get it, that is exactly the experience you need, and then you can hand off. I think that was the word. And use Muse or Dreamweaver or whatever you want to build a web experience in this case. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
you want a tiny,
thank you.
Oh, there's
so tiny. So cute.
Thank you.
For
just for
babies.
that. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Nestle Pure Life. A future full of possibilities starts by drinking pure quality water.
Is this a commercial break?
Yeah,
All right,
what
sorry,
is
let me pause.
Sponsored by water.
For our
I didn't get
sponsor.
I didn't know we were doing this.
Drink water.
Here we are. Stay hydrated. Stay thirsty, friends.
Hashtag stay thirsty.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. I think
Feel
this is exactly what we
rejuvenated?
were missing, actually.
Yes.
Shriveling away.
So Claudia is asking, so do I always use the color picker to use the color picker, or is there a faster way? Oh, to pick colors?
So Claudia, yeah, there is, but if you start, it's when you start making like global color
With
right
the
now.
assets panel?
Yeah, I've ended up sort of working with the assets panel sort of always open, because I'll sort of add the colors that I'm using, and then as I make new objects.
Should go full screen with Talin. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we see the asset panel is on
Yep.
the left, Claudia.
So I have the asset panel, and let's just do a new one. I'll just do a new one real quick. So I have this, and I'm gonna make, say, like a pink like that. So I'm using this pink, and then I'm like, oh, so I've already set the color. I've used the color picker to kind of customize it. Now I'm gonna add it to my global colors by just having the object selected and hitting the plus.
Okay.
So that means now when I go, and let's say I have some other objects, all I have to do is just go over here and click that. And the cool part now, of course, is that they're linked. So I'm like, that's not quite the pink I want.
So you do right click and edit.
Yeah, right click and edit, and now I can actually
you can shift
that. And like, actually, what I really wanted
it's
was
green,
to be
yeah,
this fluorescent.
No.
Oh, glitching it out, glitching out.
There are two colors.
Yeah.
Full red. Yeah, you can show. And
Is there
full
another
cyan.
one?
Full
What is
cyan,
it?
And
right?
full cyan.
Oh, is
Yep.
that the other one? Okay.
Yep. So there we go. So that's a real handy thing that I've been doing a lot. So what's the difference between XD
No.
and Muse?
There's a big difference because Muse, when you design pages, it will generate HTML and CSS and JavaScript.
Yeah, which means it's locked in kind of what that framework can do.
Yeah, it's locked in.
Oh, so for the border, so you can do, if you right click, you can do basically you can, with one click you can add it as the fill, but if you right click you can apply it as a border.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that's kind of a little
Apply the border.
Yep.
Okay.
Or I could copy that value and paste it somewhere, or I can just get rid of it completely. So
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. So
But if that doesn't work, if it's not something that maybe if it's not really working for you, we definitely want to hear that. So let us know. Or if maybe there's you have an idea of a quicker way to make that color selection better in the panel, even, we definitely want to hear that. We want to hear if that's working and if it helps you work faster, or if there's maybe a better way to do it. So definitely let us know, Claudia. We'd love hearing that. All right, so I think, let me see. I think I've got up to when you select and filter the comments.
Okay.
So I'm gonna preview this real quick. So here's the screen. I'm gonna select that. Anytime I select anything on the artboard, I'm gonna get this little contextual comment icon appear, have it appear. Click on that. Oh, but I didn't wire that up. Let me go wire that up. So I'm in prototype mode, so I'm just gonna select.
so you don't have to close the preview.
You don't have to close the preview window. If I just do that, oh, it's live.
Oh.
So there, Danielle has made her first comment. So now we're just gonna do like a deselection. I think I have that wired up either. So I'm just gonna
Deselect off. Yeah.
so do that. So then I've deselected off of the object and the artboard, so that's done. So now what I want to do is switch over to see all my comments. So I'm going to select the comment icon. I'm going to toggle that on. Oh, now look, now we see all the comments. But if I select the sign-in comment, the sign-in artboard next to it, I see filtered view. Looks like I gotta go back and change my artboard title to say sign-in though to make this consistent.
Oleg is asking, can I upload my fonts? So yeah, by the way, so how do you work with typefaces in XD?
Oh, so
how does it work?
Anything loaded on your system.
Okay.
So
you can use like all the typefaces installed, and when you share a prototype, so let's say you're using Adobe Clean, and I share the prototype with someone who doesn't have Adobe Clean installed, you know, with the web experience.
Yeah.
So
actually, the web doesn't matter. So when you share via the web that prototype link, that person can see it on any device, on any platform, you know, through the web browser, and they don't need to have the font installed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, really handy. So
you thought about it.
Yeah. Now sharing design files, we definitely have a little more thinking there. But if you've noticed, there's been some really cool typekit updates recently.
Yeah, I saw it.
And so we're Adobe. We're gonna have typekit support and more typekit workflows. Definitely something we're actively working on inside of XD. Right. So if I share a file, a document or file with Michael, and he opens it up, he doesn't have to worry about it being installed.
I see.
You know, something that we're definitely looking for long term.
Cool. Yeah. This is something we have now in Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. I know, like, if you share an InDesign file and let's say I'm using a typekit font, you don't have it, you will open the InDesign file and say, oh, do you want to install this font? You don't, like, one click.
Yeah, one click just does it. Yep.
So
Definitely something we're looking at for XD.
Awesome.
So Claudia, that's definitely one that's been bothering us, to have the global colors not show up in the color picker. Something that hopefully will be coming in the next month or two. Cool. So yeah, keep an eye out there. We actually, if that's something that makes sense to you, because that's one of the things, is there's been kind of some differing opinions on that. If it makes sense, like if I should be able to select from global colors inside that color picker kind of anywhere I am, you know, like that's definitely something we want to hear. If that's something that you'd like to see in the app, so just let us know. That definitely helps. That helps us sort of decide those, when we have those decisions, be like, oh, what are we gonna do here? So
what he's asking, so does XD embed the font in the prototype, in the web prototype? No, I don't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't do that. Yeah, technically, there's not a live type there up on the web prototype. So
it's an image. I guess. Yeah. It's a render.
For right now.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you embed the typeface, then you have to deal with the licensing. And yeah.
All right. So how are you doing, Danielle, on your prototype?
Danielle.
Maybe I'll go through it again. So we have this workflow. Okay, I have this panel on the side, the properties, the comments. I'm going to click on the comments here to switch to see document-wide all of the comments. If I click on an artboard, it contextually knows, okay, let's just show the comments for the specific artboard. And then I sort of deselect. Again, it goes back to document-wide comments over here. And then maybe I'm going to zoom out here and see all of my artboards, and then there's a specific comment here that I'm interested in. So if I click on this bottom comment down here, it will actually zoom me into that specific artboard, and then I just need to have that comment open so that you can look specifically at
Yeah. And did you update that? So yeah, that's looking really good. And you can update the prototype, and then everybody, we can share the link again, and everybody can go check it out. Share again. So yes. So Danielle's gonna update that same link with all these new additions to her prototype.
I can share it out. comment twice. That's a real thing. I went to,
no.
snap. Someone else can do it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The mods can. Okay, they just did.
Okay.
All right, great.
Thank you.
See the mod.
Good
thing.
job, mods.
Thank you. That's so funny.
Hi, Matheus. Does anybody have any course that teaches the business side of things? Oh, what do you mean, Bavik? Can you give us more details? Is it about how to be a freelancer, how to find customers? This is the kind of conversations that we have with our guests, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, for instance, Jessica and Claude, they work for an agency, Telepathy, based in San Diego. So if you want to join and ask them questions about the business side of being an agency, how to deal with customers, with pre-sales, with customer support, once you deliver the project, if they want to add new features, how to deal with that, like all these aspects, feel free to join and ask them all these types of questions. Kira is asking, does it make sense to switch from Photoshop and Sketch to XD right now for creating web mobile UI, or XD positioning itself as an additional tool? Well, Kirill, you will be the judge, you know. So we invite you to download and try XD and see how it fits with your workflow, with your needs.
Mm-hmm.
And the trend that we definitely see is that, I don't know so many designers using Sketch and XD at the same time, because there is a big overlap, I would say. And Photoshop still has a place if you work with pictures, you know, just to prepare the assets. Yeah. But when it comes to creating a layout and prototyping, then yeah, everything should be in XD.
Yeah.
It's funny, I saw in the chat someone was like, that very long comment is not very long. And I was like, what are they talking about? And then I looked over your screen and I was like, oh.
Yes.
This very long
yes.
comment.
I don't know if the mods can find it, but we had this really crazy idea that I want you all to go and upvote on Uservoice, where rather than me having to like manually like type out like every piece of data, what I want to be able to do is actually go and bring in like live data from the web.
From websites?
Yeah. So when we first launched Project Comets at Max, my colleague Anirudh Sasikumar,
I know him.
He did a sneak
I remember.
with XD where he actually went out to Behance and actually pulled in real data from Behance into his design in XD. It was called Designing with Data.
So what
Design
happened?
with data. We need people to like upvote
I
it.
saw something. Yeah, it's definitely on the
It's-
user
yeah,
voice.
yeah.
I saw it there.
Yeah, we want to do it, but we need like that groundswell of enthusiasm and excitement because for a long time everybody wanted layers. That's what we had to build layers.
It was a priority. Yeah.
Yeah. So
We need to prioritize.
yes, we need to prioritize designing with that for sure. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so let's see, where am I? Let's see in our flow.
So FR Zamaron is asking, so is XD more for a website or more mobile apps? I would say it's for any type of screen experience you want to design. So it could be even for the dashboard of a car,
A watch,
smart TV, Apple Watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it looks like it has 790 votes is the one. I think that might be the forum one. At least the one I'm seeing. Someone posted it.
Yeah.
Probably is the designing with data.
790. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Wow.
How many will it take before we make? No, just kidding.
It just needs to keep like
give me
bubbling.
the number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs
This
to-
is-
Five more votes.
If it's been like
Let's
number
go.
one for like a year, then hopefully we could do it.
Such a scam.
No, I know.
Wait a second. What are you?
It's always hard. Like, so we're balancing a lot. Like, building a very complex tool like XD is very challenging. But like I say, I'm working.
Oh, they found the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know,
It is really cool. That sneak.
Yeah.
I get to work with some of the
Rick,
most
make sure to
talented
share it
people.
on DMs too.
Yeah, we work with some of the most talented sort of engineers and designers and product managers on XD, and you know, it's just there's just an amazing team put together. And I think if we sort of turn our attention to anything, we can, you know, we'll do something amazing with it. But sometimes, you know, there's a lot. We're balancing a lot. We're balancing a lot of, you know, different requests from designers, and yeah, it's a challenge. But I know this team is up for it, so we definitely appreciate all your guys' feedback. So my designing, yeah, you can go check out XD at Creative Cloud like right now. You can download it and try it for free. We're in beta still, and it's still free during the beta phase, so you should go check it out. There's a lot of great stuff. We just launched the assets panel, one of some of my favorite features. I'm doing my team, Danielle, others in our design org are working in XD all the time, doing, you know, our real day-to-day work. So you should definitely check it out. All right, so now.
Cool. So I have this flow sort of finalized here. I'm gonna play it really quickly.
Cool.
Clicking through again, clicking on the comments, on my artboard to select, narrowing down my comments on the side, deselecting, seeing all of them, document wide again, and then zooming out so I can see all of my artboards, finding a comment I'm really interested in, and when I select that comment, just zooming in and then seeing the specific object selected here, and then the comment sort of open here as well.
Yeah.
That's. But I don't know, like, that's my question. Is like, now I see this and I'm like, ooh, there's like this comment side over here.
Yeah.
I probably don't need double up. It might just be nice to have it selected.
Just have it highlighted.
Yeah, and then
have the
just
comment.
have the side panel open.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Cool. So I'll update this link.
Brad, you keep asking about notifications. Yeah, so this is something we, like, I guess notifications every time someone adds a comment. Yeah, which is something we have for the web version already.
Yeah.
And that we could have also.
That is. Well, here's what we're going to do. So at the end of the day, Danielle and I are going to have 2 prototypes. So what we thought we could do is that if everybody would vote with their comments, or maybe we just vote early tomorrow on the stream, we decide which one is more exciting and which one are we going to go maybe into a little more detail tomorrow. So that could be a way to do it. Yeah. So notifications, I think that would be great to do kind of a handoff for Danielle makes an annotation, maybe I open up the file, I see the annotation, maybe I make a comment back to her. And we maybe, or, maybe I see that there's been a notification. There's actually something for me to look at, in the comment thread, right? So we could, maybe
we could tie that in if that was the way to go.
Yeah. But today what we're gonna leave is a really solid sort of story end to end. And now I've been working on the high fidelity visuals, using the actual app frame of XD as we've been putting it together to actually make this annotation feature feel real, inside of XD.
Yeah, so where are you within the
story? We've just clicked to zoom and pan over to the other artboard with the other comments. Okay. So what I needed to do is just add basically the highlight state to the object that has the comment. So I'm just gonna copy this over there.
So now you've selected that specific comment, and it's going to highlight the object that has that specific comment attached to it.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Ahmed is asking, you support right to left languages in XD?
That's actually we would love to know more about that, because I don't think we do not have language support yet.
For the UI, you mean?
For the UI yet, for Arabic. But it's definitely something, we would always go and look at, or if we saw like a really specific use case for supporting that, whether it's supporting the type or supporting all the type options.
Yeah, I guess it would be the type option.
Yeah, we've been working very closely with. We have an office in Japan, so we've actually been over to Japan a few times to actually talk about like what challenges do designers in Japan face with I believe it's top down, sort of from the top to the bottom, and then left to right. And so we actually talked directly to designers there about how they design, with those constraints, with those paradigms, those behaviors. So we'd love to learn more about that. Should definitely go and add that to the Uservoice, and
I'm pretty sure it's on the Uservoice.
Yeah. So.
Wow, and we have like something like 3 minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, I think you're on the last flow.
I think I am actually. Let me just make sure all the prototypes all hooked up here. So then we're gonna click on this one. It's gonna go there. Let me make sure. Does this one go? Oh, so we zoom out. So this is just gonna go there. Okay, let's walk through it. Let's see. Okay. So here we are, and Danielle is going to select that. I'm going to make a comment. Boom. There we go. Okay, so we deselect that. Now we're going to go and look at the comment panel. So I can see all the comments happening throughout the document. When I select on click on an artboard, it filters that and to that comment thread, so just the comments that are related to that artboard. So now I'm going to deselect, all those comments come back. Now I'm going to zoom out, and so we have it's a big document, and if we click on a comment, it'll actually pan and zoom us and take us right and highlight the object that has that annotation, that comment on it. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's looking really good. Okay, so
maybe you can tweet the link.
Yes, let me.
If the mod's in the chat, if you can share Talin's Twitter handle, it's Mr. Talin, Mr. Talin.
I'm gonna call this Loop Hi-Fi.
And so people watching, if you can run the prototype in your browser, add some comments, and tomorrow we should continue the experience.
Yeah,
nice,
it's a promising feature.
This is looking really good. Like something, I think it's real almost.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Mr. Talin. Okay.
Yeah, nice.
In both chats. Yeah. Thank you.
There we go. Yep. So look for me on Twitter, and I'll have the link posted there.
Yeah.
With the hashtag. So.
Yeah, leave comments, and that way when we look at it again tomorrow, we can have a sense of how everyone's feeling about it as well.
Awesome. So we will be back live tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So this is 12 p.m. in New York, 6 p.m. in Paris, with Jessica and Claude from Telepathy for 2 hours. Then we will welcome Sally Harrison again, and Ashley Carr and Paul Trani will be live, and we'll be back with Danielle and Talin, and continuing working on this project loop to add comments to your designs in Adobe XD. Yeah, thank you very much.
Great.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And see you tomorrow on Adobe Live.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.